All right, shalom, 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 Israel, shalom. First and foremost, we gonna say call halal Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahusha, Hamashiach, Thra, Katha, Wasmaka. That's all praise to the Most High. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the majority of the inhabitants of the earth ignorantly call Jesus Christ. This is for the saints of Israel, right? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans of indigenous descent. You are the Israelites of the Bible, the biblical Israelites, the direct descendant, bloodline, patrilineally from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So this message is out for you, man. And there's a certain way we supposed to be operating in this truth, man, as disciples of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. And we're going to read about that. That's first we're gonna start off with 2 Corinthians 6 from the top. You got that?
Give me 1 second.
2 Corinthians 6 in verse 1, you know?
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, verse 6 and 1. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not grace of Yahweh in vain.
Right, so we are workers together with Yahweh Shah, right? Go ahead and get the door. Yeah, so we are workers together with him, right? Workers together with Yahweh Shah, along with the apostles and the many other disciples, man, in this truth, right? And Yahweh, through Yahweh Shah, man, unto the apostles on down unto us, man, they beseeched us, man. They're telling us how we supposed to be operating in this truth, man, right? So that we won't receive the grace of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah in vain, right? What does it mean, receive the grace of God in vain? Meaning he don't want that grace to be empty towards you, man. Because people don't, Christianity, they have a warped understanding of what grace is, man, right? Because they teach because of grace you can do any and all things, man, right? And you know, you don't have to do any works, man. It's a faith only salvation. That's what they teach, man. But through the scriptures we understand that works and faith, man, that's what's going to get us up out of this captivity.
That's
right? So what is grace? Grace is the period, right, where you have to get yourself ready or prepare, right, for that marriage, man. Just like, take for instance, when you are in school, right, like you doing a college essay and it has a due date. Because of some sort of circumstances with you or your father, you can't meet that due date, right? So the professor, the teacher, gives you a grace period, right, where you have time to finish that essay, to finish that report, or whatever project he's given unto you, man. You know, so this is what this grace period is unto us, man. Since we were born in sin, the Lord, right, through Yahweh Shah's blood has given us a second opportunity to come back to the Father. So this is that grace period, right, that Yahweh Shah has given us, man. He's given us ample amount of time to make ourselves ready, right, for his second return for that marriage, man.
Bring it out.
Because we are supposed to present ourselves blameless or spotless unto him, right, when he finally comes and redeem us out of this hellhole that we're in America, man. So read that over again.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 1, and it reads, we then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of Yahweh in vain.
So we don't want this grace to be empty on you, because Christianity, the way they teach it, is empty unto them, man, because they only thing they think they have to do is believe. And we know through the scriptures, man, through multiple witnesses, that just having faith alone ain't gonna get you up out of this situation, man. You're gonna be destroyed in that world war, right? That last World War III, man. Those thermonuclear fires, you're gonna burn up right along with the heathen in the 2/3, man. Right? But the apostles and the disciples on down, man, they telling us these things to prevent you from that destruction, man. So keep reading that.
Verse 2, and it reads, for he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I scored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. behold, now is the day of salvation.
Right, read on.
Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed.
So it says, giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed, man. Because we have to watch what we say unto people when we're out there ministering or preaching, man.
That's right.
You know, we can't be quick to condemn somebody. We can't be quick to say something to a someone of our lineage, right? Our brothers and sisters who's not in this walk, man. We have to watch what we say unto them, because what we say unto them might prevent them from coming into the truth later down the line when they get more understanding, right, on what we're actually preaching, you know.
That's right.
Right? So we're not supposed to be giving offense on those things, you know. But through the Spirit, we understand, Slakia. Through the Spirit, we understand that offenses unto us, when we offend one another, right? That's a part of this ministry. You know, it really doesn't phase us to the point, to the scope that the non-believers offending them, right?
That's right.
For example, give me Slakia. Give me Psalms 119.
Okay.
119. And 165. Psalms 119, 65. 165, right? Because we, as disciples, we know that we're supposed to keep the law, keep the Torah, right, and the faith, man. So through our precepts, we get understanding, and we hate every false way, right?
God,
read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 165, and it reads, "Great peace have they which love thy law."
So the ones who love the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we have great peace within us, right? Read on.
Nothing shall offend them.
And what?
Nothing shall offend them.
And nothing shall offend
That's a good precept
us,
too,
right?
God.
So nothing anybody saying to us is gonna offend us, man, right? But that isn't the same. Well, someone who's not in the truth can't take it the same way, man, because you say something to somebody and they get them completely turned off from the Bible, man.
That's right.
Right? What you said to him offended him, right? Well, he felt offended about it, you know, so he just turned off from the Bible completely. No, we're not supposed to be doing that as disciples in this truth, you know. As
Hold on, wait. Let me see it.
in-
Let me see it 1 second.
Ministers
T1,
in
T1.
truth,
Let me
you
see it
know?
for 1 second. 1 second. Let me see.
So let's go back
Throw
to 2 Corinthians 6, right? And we can read from verse 3 on down.
Con, this the book of 2 Corinthians chapter. You got it? Okay, go ahead. This the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1.
Yeah, verse 3.
Verse 3, and it reads, giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed.
So we can't say stuff unto them so they'll use an excuse and say, well, I'll take Ariah, for example, right? The one who told that what's his name? Taza Dakia was the God sent comforter, right? Yeah,
Tazadakia.
Yeah, Tazadakia, right? I'm probably mispronouncing his name or whatever, you know, because of what those two did. Now people are saying that because Ariah taught the 12 tribes chart, now that means because he went off, our ministry, our preaching is wrong, you know. So
right, they trying to just use any excuse.
Yeah, they try to use any excuse just because he went off, man. But the disciples, we know that the Lord was using them as a vessel to get us this to increase our learning, our knowledge in this truth, man.
That's right.
You know? So what they did is supposed to be an example to us on what we should not be doing, man. You know? And we use that wisdom and we carry it forth in our ministry.
That's
Read
right.
on.
Verse 4, and it reads, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministry of Yahweh, and much patience in afflictions and necessities in distress.
So we supposed to be patient with people of our own nation who don't believe. We supposed to be the afflictions that we're going through just trying to squeeze out that bit of information to them so they can get it, man. We supposed to go through all of these things, man. Right? Read on.
And stripes, and imprisonments, and tumults, and labors, and watchings, and fastings.
Right?
By pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfeigned.
Right?
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
By the word of truth, by the power of Yahweh, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left.
Right? Read.
By honor, by dishonor, by evil report, and good report, as deceivers, and yet true.
Right, so hold that. Give me somebody give me Matthew 5 and 17, right? So the Apostle Paul, through his letters, right, he is showing his churches that he was the leader over on some of the things that's going on within the body that they shouldn't be doing, man.
God.
Basically, he's rebuking them and he's correcting them, man. You know,
right.
And showing and trying to put them back on that straight, narrow path that we're supposed to be in. And we read his letters, man, and we get an understanding of how we supposed to be operating, right? So you got that?
Yeah, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. And it reads, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right, so we understand through Yahweh Shah, he told us that think not that the law has been... Read that part over again.
I am not come to destroy the law. I am not come...
Read up a little bit.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
So he's not supposed to be thinking that the Lord came to destroy the law or a prophet, right? Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right, so we have to look at what that word fulfill means, because people think, well, Christianity teach because Christ fulfilled the law, we don't have to do the law no more, man.
And that what they'll say is, he already did that. But verse 18.
Right, hold on. And another point with that is, like, for instance, like if you tell your kids to wash the dishes, right? Okay, he fulfilled his job, or he finished the dishes. So now, does that mean that he don't have to wash any more dishes anymore afterwards? No, right? So they like to add meanings and definitions, right, to words, man, and especially that word fulfill, right? Just because Yahweh Shah did the law doesn't mean that now we don't have to do the law. No, nigga, you have to fulfill the law too. You have to do your due diligence in observing and keeping that law. Read on.
Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Right, until all be fulfilled, right? So it's just telling you, till heaven and earth pass away, you know? And we can look and see, right, that the heavens, right, the sky is still there, and we can look around and see the earth is still here, man. So until those things pass away, the law, right, is going to remain here, man. And the Bible say the earth abideth forever. Right, so exactly. Ain't no getting rid of the law. Ain't no getting rid of the law, right? So you can't get around the commandments in the will of the Heavenly Father, right? You can't get around those things, man. You see, what religion to try to do is they'll use Paul's letters, twist it, right, and teach a doctrine out of it, man. Make people feel good, make people believe that, you know, using his letters that you only need to do one thing, man, and that's have faith, man. And that's just not correct, man. Right? So that's it on that? Yeah. Right? So give me 2 Corinthians 11 and 4.
Con, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4, and it reads, for if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
Right, so this is what Christianity do today. They fulfilled this part of what Paul has said here in the scripture. He that cometh preaching another Jesus, right? Read.
Whom we have not preached.
Whom the apostles have not preached, man, because it's very clear on the Christ that the apostles taught, right? Hold that. I want to bring out a precept.
Come.
This is 2 Corinthians 13. No, that's not what I want. This is Matthew 18 and 16, right? And it reads, "But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established." Right? You see, you have to understand, Paul is just one witness.
That's right.
Right? In the Gospels, man. You need to have 2 witnesses saying the same thing, 2 or 3 witnesses saying the same thing, in order for you to believe the doctrine that they're trying to tell you, man. You know? And it's even in the law, in Deuteronomy 17 and 6, man. You know? At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death, man. So it's reiterated over and over and over again, man. You know, and another thing, Paul isn't going to be one of the apostles that's going to be sitting on the 12 thrones judging, right, the 12 tribes of Israel. Those 12 seats are the apostles that actually walk with Yahushua, right? So wouldn't it be better for you to go to Peter, to James, you know, or the other apostles to get more clarification or edification in what you're supposed to be doing as a disciple, than to just rely on what Paul says, you know? Because remember, the rock of the church, Peter, said that some things that Paul said in his epistles is hard to be understood, man. Right? So he has more authority than Paul. Takes his words, right, over what Paul said, man. You know? Roughly just saying, right? So go back to that. Where I had you at?
We was at Matthew.
2 Corinthians 11.
2 Corinthians, Salakia. 2 Corinthians 11, verse 4, and it reads, "For if he that cometh preacheth another Yahushua, whom we have not preached."
And so this is what these other religions teach. They teach a different Jesus, man. Read.
"Or if ye receive another spirit which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not preached, have not accepted, Salakia, ye might well bear with him."
And so this is why I had started off with 2 Corinthians 6 verse, right? Where it says at verse 3, "Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed," right? So when these Christians come up to you, right, and they're teaching you a different Jesus, man, we supposed to have patience, man, with them. We supposed to have forbearance with them, man, right? Because you don't want to be like a madman and just talk off at the mouth, man. They'll think, or they have the excuse to say that you are of, right, the devil or whatever, this and that they be saying unto you, man. You're supposed to deal with them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. You know, not with pride, or with what's the other word I'm looking for?
Arrogance.
Yeah, arrogance, man. We ain't supposed to be arrogant with these guys, man. We supposed to be opening up their minds and trying to get them to see the true gospel of Yahweh Yahushua, man. Right? Keep reading that there.
Verse 5, and it reads, "For I suppose I was not wit behind the very chiefest apostles, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge."
Hold on, what verse you at?
Verse 6 right now.
No, go back to
verse 4.
Go to 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 5.
"For I suppose I was wit." For I suppose I was not wit behind the very chiefest apostle, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge.
Right. So though we be rude in speech, right, and not in knowledge, go on.
"But we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things."
Right. We have been thoroughly manifested, right, to them in all things, because at the end of the day, they'll find themselves chasing us than rather us chasing them, man. Because we got this guy, Vocab Malone, bro. He goes all around the United States, man, chasing after the camps, the different sets that are out there on the street corner preaching, man. You don't see no Israelites going after Pacific religious churches, man, week in and week out, man, trying to talk to them, trying to get them to understand. No, this man has a mission going around the earth, trying to convince us of what we're saying is wrong, man. You know, so we only need to do what the Lord told us to do, right? They doing much more than what the Lord told them to do, and then some that they're not doing, right? Keep reading.
Verse 7, and it reads, I have committed no offense in basing myself.
I'll read that over again.
I have, Salakia, have I committed any offense and basing myself, that you might be exalted, because I have preached to you the gospel of Yahweh freely.
Right, read.
I rob other churches, taking wages of them to do you service. And when I was present with you and wanted, I was chargeable to no man for that which was lacking to me. The brethren which came from Macedonia supplied, and in all things I have kept myself from being burdensome to you, and so will I keep myself.
Right. So this is just Paul giving his the history of behind what led him up to preaching. Right. Read.
As the truth of Hamashiach is in me, no man shall stop me of this boasting in the region of Achaia.
Right. So drop that. We're gonna go to 2 Corinthians 10, in verse 3. 10 and verse 3.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3, and it reads, for through we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
So though we walk in the flesh, right, we're in these fleshly bodies, and we're subject into seeing fleshly carnal things, right? We do not war after the flesh, meaning we don't make ourselves to indulge in the things that the Lord despises, man. Read.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to pulling down of strongholds.
So the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal, man. So when we are out there debating and talking with these Christians, they're trying to get us to be carnal. So they have an excuse of not believing, man. That's their whole deal, man. Right? So we supposed to put on the whole armor of God, and we supposed to fight them with the Bible, man. Fight them with the words of God, right? So our weapons aren't carnal, right? But it's mighty, and it pulls down the strongholds that's over their minds, right? You got something to say?
Jeremiah 1 and 9.
Jeremiah 1 and 9. Let's get that. Jeremiah 1 and 9.
You want to get that, or you want to stay where I'm at?
Stay where you at. I'll read it.
Okay,
this is Jeremiah 1 and 9. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. Right? So right, so the Lord put his words in Jeremiah's mouth, right? Verse 9, then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. Sorry, that was verse 9. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build up and to plant, man.
And so that's what we're gonna do to the Gentiles.
Right,
too.
That's what we're gonna do to the Gentiles, man, the non-Israelite nations, man. And what we're doing with our people now, man, we're pulling down the strongholds that these other nations have put in their mind. You know, because that salvation and faith only doctrine, the Edomites and the various heathen nations put that in our people's mind, and we using the Bible to wash that away from their minds, right? So that's it on that. So go back to 2 Corinthians 10 in
Con.
verse 4. Start at verse 4 again.
Con, and it reads 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalt itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach.
So casting down imaginations, like there's a forever pit of hell underneath the earth, and there's a red skinned devil with a pitchfork picking you in the behind for all eternity, right? Imaginations like that, because that's Greek mythology right there, man. You know, and Esau have he schemed and planned these things, right? And he taught it in a way that is believable to certain people, man. You know? So, these are imaginations that we're trying to cast down. And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge, right? Against the precepts of God, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai, man. So we trying to get your mind focused every day on how to serve Christ, man. And you only way to serve Christ is doing the will of his Father. He says so, right? Right? So keep reading that.
And it reads, verse 6, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Right? And so as we read in the gospel, there's going to be a day of vengeance too, man. And the saints are patiently waiting for those days to come upon all of our enemies. Read on.
Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Hamashiach, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Hamashiach, even so are we Hamashiach.
Right, so he's asking a rhetorical question. Do you look on things on outward appearance, man? You know? Because a brother will appear righteous just because of the apparel that he's wearing, man.
Garment,
you know,
or something.
The garment, right? Nice and clean, you know, fresh fringes, you know, that he just got put on it, you know. Got the metrion and all of that, man, right? If any man trusts in himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think this again, right? So we supposed to always, we supposed to be checking ourselves, man, in our mind. We gotta check ourselves daily, man, right?
Verse 8, keep reading.
Uh-huh.
For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord Yahweh Shai have given us for edification and not for your destruction, I shall not be ashamed.
Right, so that's it on that. Give me Galatians 1 and 6.
This is the book. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 6, and it reads, I marvel. That's the old English. What that say on yours? That word?
Marvel, yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, okay. I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Hamashiach unto in other gospel.
Right, so this is Paul reiterating this again. So he had to write this letter to the members of his churches that he was over, right? And he was calling them out, man, on their BS, man, of how they was acting amongst the ministry, how they was acting amongst the other body members, man. Right? Go on.
Verse 7, and it reads, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Hamashiach.
And right, so even back then, right, during the time of the apostles, man, when they were seeing the miracles, man, seeing Peter and Paul and the other disciples, man, making man who was born not able to walk again, man. They were seeing these things, man. But people was still going off back then. It's crazy, right?
That's our people.
Yes, that's how you know.
It's like they'll see somebody literally get up and start walking, and they're like, we seeing the miracles. Yeah, what we on today?
Right. Go ahead, Art.
Not to mention, not only did they see the people walking, but these was people that they knew for a long time could not walk.
Con.
This wasn't like it was a scam. Right? They
Con.
knew that these people couldn't walk, and here it is now. The apostles got to where they're walking again.
Hey, hit that like.